Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before you can apply to medical school or PA school, you're going to have some kind of clinical experience before you can have your application be complete. So today we're going to cover all the clinical opportunities out there and how you can also become part of them. Forgot to mention in the intro, but stay tuned towards the end for the ultimate mentality hack that will get you more clinical experience. So first and foremost, whether you're an undergraduate or a non-traditional student, there are always clubs in the university or school that you're attending that you can be a part of. And by clubs, I mean pre-medical clubs, such as Pre-Medical Association, HOSA Club, Pre-SOMA, which is HOSA but for DO schools. And it's vital that you join these clubs earlier on in your undergraduate career because it will put you in contact with other like-minded individuals that are also going down the same path as you and looking for experiences, which will bring you great connections, and perhaps you can score some of the positions that they have as well, like I have in my undergraduate career. Not only that, but they also have guest speakers come in who are already in the career path that you're in, and they will give you advice and perhaps even give you opportunities to join them for your clinical experience while they're at work. And this is a great segue for shadowing. Shadowing is also something that medical schools or PA schools are going to want to see that you have done in order to kind of portray the fact that you have explored all the options and all the different paths within medicine, and that you're kind of familiarize yourself with all these different medical categories, right? So shadowing can be daunting, especially if you're a freshman in college. However, the best way you can go about it is simply making a template, and there are plenty of templates that you can look up on Google, change around some words, make it personalized for you and the way that you speak. Save that template and start sending them out to every doctor email address that you can find. And these email addresses or contact informations you can get from clubs because they will have guest speakers that you can connect with. And once you send out as many emails as you can, it's really a numbers game. One of them is going to bite and let you shadow. And shadowing is a necessity for pre-meds and pre-PA students. But if you are having trouble getting a shadowing experience, the next best thing you can do is apply for a volunteer opportunity. There are always volunteers wanted inside hospitals because you're essentially volunteering your free time and energy and effort in helping them out for something that they don't have to compensate you for, which is why it's a great place to start to kind of get your foot in the hospital. Once you start volunteering, you'll see that you'll get to know the clinical professionals around you, and once you build those relationships, it'll be much easier for you to land those shadowing opportunities or perhaps jobs within the department that you're working or volunteering for in the hospital. So for me, for example, I started volunteering around my sophomore junior year of college, and I remember then I was really trying to get this scribe position in the local hospital that we had, but it was very competitive and they would only choose a few new scribes every year. So after volunteering in the for about a year or so, I got to know the nurses and the doctors. I shadowed one of the doctors through this volunteering experience because I talked to them and they let me come in on a weekend and shadow them. But not only that, but I really got to know the head nursing supervisor, who put in a great word for me when I told her that I'm applying for a scribe position. And her word went a long way and allowed me to get the scribe position, which I was a part of for almost 2 years. So as you can see, volunteering is a great segue into any sorts of clinical experience that you might want. Another thing that you can do is internships within research fields within the hospital. So, for example, for me, I was part of the Tallahassee Neurological Clinic, which they did case studies on certain neurological procedures and find out how they can improve their surgical methods and procedures. Another source of clinical experience is becoming an MRU, stands for Medical Response Unit, or in other words, an EMT, an emergency medical technician. MRU is just sort of a university version of EMT. So you would respond to emergency situations around campus. And that's usually done with every major university. They have some sort of first responders crew, which is sort of a club within their university. So I wasn't a part of it, but however, I know a bunch of friends that were a part of it, and it's really just a semester of training. You take a few courses, and now you're going to be able to have this clinical experience doing real clinical things and responding to medical emergencies on campus. You can do a similar thing with EMT, however, that will be kind of an outside source thing where you would actually have to pay a little bit of money in order to pay for tuition and study through this EMT program, which is about a semester long, or you can become a paramedic if you add on another semester, and it would be a year-long program. However, with this certification now, you're able to work for any EMS service that's present at your city or town. You would be able to work for them, and that is one of the best clinical experiences you can get, in my opinion, because you're out there, first responders, seeing real emergencies out in the real world and being the first responders to them. Lastly, I wanted to talk about one of the not easiest per se, but a much more doable option for clinical experience, which is what I'm currently doing at the moment, which is becoming a certified nursing assistant. With this certification, you can be a part of any department in the hospital. Every department in the hospital necessitates a doctor, a nurse, and a CNA. It's kind of like the triple hierarchy of clinical care. And so as a CNA, you would be helping out the nurses and the doctors give actual care to the patient and having that personal patient interaction, which always looks good for pre-meds or pre-PAs, showing that you're able to interact with others and provide care for patients that you're going to be seeing in the future. There are plenty of programs that you can get the CNA certification with. For me, it was a 2-week long certification with an outside school from my university. Cost about $400, $500, but definitely worth it. Some CNA jobs will actually reimburse you the certification fee if you sign a contract saying you'll work with them for like 6 months or 9 months, whatever the contract is. Either way, it's a very good option for you to kind of get your foot in the door and have that patient interaction and clinical experience where you're actually in the clinical field and providing care for the patients. It's also a great way to build your persona and how you're going to be with patients and kind of figure out how your interactions are going to be. And you can start building that before you're even in med school or PA school. Lastly, before I go, I wanted to kind of touch on this mindset where I've definitely struggled with, where you might become kind of discouraged from having to apply to all these different positions and keep getting denied or not being able to land this job opportunity or clinical experience. The one thing that I found to be the most effective way of landing these positions is keep trying and putting out job applications, shadowing opportunity emails, volunteering opportunity applications, anything that you can to kind of get your hands in the clinical experience, and I promise you it will pay off. It's just a numbers game. Someone is bound to give you a clinical experience. And once you get one, it'll be much easier to get the rest because you'll get the ball rolling. They'll see you already have clinical experience and it'll be easier for you to land more. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys found any value in this video, please smash that like button and subscribe. You already know what's up. We're going to try to keep this momentum going. I'm going to try and upload more videos on the pre-medical realm. If you have any questions or topics that you want me to cover, drop a comment down below and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching.